Hello and welcome everyone to today's webinar. The Center for Coaching Certification wants to thank Caterina Rando for being here with us today. We are so excited about what she has ready for you. I'm guessing you're going to absolutely love the presentation. A little bit of information about Caterina. She's a Master Certified Coach. She shows coaches and other entrepreneurs how to gain instant clients by raising their visibility and sharing the value they have to bring through public speaking. She's a business strategist, sought-after speaker, author of the national bestseller Learn to Power Think, and co-author of 6 other leading business books. Caterina is also the creator of the sought-after Speaker Summit and the Business Breakthrough Summit, 2 live events designed to provide you with tools to accelerate your coaching business success. I think one of the really great things we have happening for us today is hearing you speak, Caterina, means we get to experience your example that you're setting as a speaker. So thank you so much for being here. Very excited to be hearing from you and looking forward to today's conversation. Welcome, Caterina.
Thank you. So happy to be with you. So happy to be with all of you. And everyone, like most of you or all of you, I absolutely love being a coach. I love being a coach. I love helping other people be successful in their business. And I've had the privilege of doing that for the last 20 years. What I want you to know, though, is when I started my coaching business, and now it's grown into a publishing business, and we do lots and lots of events. We do over 36 live events a year of our own events, 36 days, excuse me, not 36 events, 36 days of events. Next year we'll do 50 days of events. Our business is over $500,000 annually, and we hope to do much more than that next year. And I tell you all this as we start to let you know that all of my success can be linked back to speaking. Because when I was starting my career, I would go networking, and that's what you're supposed to do, right? When you start your business, you go networking. And I went, and I would go, and there would be 5 other coaches in the room. I'm sure some of you can relate to that. You go networking, and there's 5 other people that do something similar to you in the room. And I thought to myself, what am I going to do to be the one that comes home with clients? And what I noticed was that the speaker got a lot of attention, and a lot of people came to speak with the speaker after their speech. I started to speak to get clients, and even when I didn't know what I was doing, I would usually come home with 2 clients. Now, everyone, when I say come home with clients, I'm not talking about coming home with a pocket of business cards. Those are possible clients. I'm talking about coming home with people that have said, yes, they want to work with you, they've signed an agreement, and they are your client. And that's why speaking is so incredible. Now, you might say, okay, well, that's good. Of course, I want to get clients. I want to look at with you now, though, all the other reasons why you want to start speaking. The first one is that you meet so many more people faster. Think about it. Now, if you're doing one-on-one consultations with your potential clients, guess what? Once you start speaking to get clients, you don't have to ever do a complimentary consultation again. You don't ever, I'm saying that again, you don't ever have to do another complimentary consultation when you're using speaking to grow your business, because your speech is your free consultation. And because you're meeting so many people, you might have 30 people in the audience. Well, guess what? That would be 30 consultations that you're having all at once. That's the power of speaking. You meet so many more people faster. Also, you will become somebody who is recognized as an influential person, and you'll meet the influential people in your community. What could be better than that? You become a person of influence in your community, everybody. Recognize that. People start to know you. They see your name everywhere. And that makes you recognized as an expert in your field. In sales, you know that I'm sure you've all heard, you need to see something, a brand, 7 times. Well, now that's grown to 11 times. And we're not Coca-Cola or Nike. Everybody, we are our own brand. And when we see someone at a networking event, that's one brand impression. When they see us in our social media feed, that's another brand impression. When they see that you're speaking somewhere, whether or not they come, that's another brand impression. And the more they see you out there, the more your brand is being solidified in the mind of your potential clients. And as a result, when you meet them or they hear you speak or you reach out to them in some way, they are going to be open to you because with speaking, you are significantly building your brand. And this will create new opportunities for you. People will invite you to come speak. By the way, after a while, it gets very, very easy to do this. You go speak somewhere, and every time you go speak somewhere, you get invited to go speak a couple of more places. And as a result, you're doing all of this with ease. By the way, it doesn't cost you anything. In fact, you get gifts, you get bought lunch. It's all fabulous with speaking. Now, in business, in your coaching business, you have heard many, many times, hey, you got to build your list, you got to build your list, you got to build your list. And I would 100% agree. The thing to realize, though, is that when you are speaking, those people that are coming onto your list after a speech, those people are so much more likely to hire you moving forward than anyone that just came by your website and got your free ebook. Because your speech starts to build your relationship with everyone in your audience. It's as if you are having those 20 or 30 or 50 individual cups of coffee over at Starbucks with each person. Those get-to-know-you meetings that we sometimes have when we're growing our business, it's like you're having all those get-to-know-you meetings at the same time. You're having all those free consultations at the same time. And not all of them are ready for action now. When they get on your list, you stay in touch with them, that will have them join you in the future. It's fabulous for list building. And as we've mentioned when we started, more clients, more contracts, and more commissions. And I put commissions on there because what will happen is as you partner with other speakers, you'll be sending clients back and forth. You'll be getting more referral commissions. That happens because you are building not only your speaking, you're also building your network of other professionals that you're referring back and forth with, and as a result, your commissions are growing as well. And of course, my personal favorite, perks. You want to speak on a cruise ship? You absolutely can. One of my clients got invited to speak on a cruise ship. Her and her husband got a week trip. She gave a couple of speeches. She came home with clients as a result of a free cruise for her and her husband. That's a major perk. You could speak in any country you want to travel to. You could put your attention on speaking there too. I've had the privilege of speaking in Holland and New Zealand and Acapulco and Italy, all kinds of places through speaking. It's a great way to go wherever you want to go. Speaking will absolutely make your business thrive. Look at all of these reasons. Now I love the perks, but the thing is, everyone, there is no better way to fill your client base with ease. And I want you to know that one speech can change everything. A few years ago, I got invited to go give a speech for a group of image professionals. It was an hour from my house. I drove there. I gave a 3-hour workshop for them. They paid me $300, my honorarium. I came home, And by the time I came home, I had 21 new clients. I earned in an afternoon what at the time I would have earned in a month. Now I want you to think about that. I want you to think about if you went today to some location within an hour of your home and you gained as many clients in an afternoon as you normally gain in a month. And if you're just getting started, if you gained 10 clients or 20 clients, that day I gained 21 new clients. That is significant. It changed everything. It catapulted my business. One speech. And that can happen for you. It's happened over and over again for many of the people I worked with when you fully embrace speaking. Now, I want you to know that it can look a variety of ways. Julie, above the Executive Image Power book, Julie said, hey, Caterina, I have a few speeches booked, but they're not for a couple of months, and I want to get started right now. And do you know what Julie did? She invited some ladies to come in her living room, and she did an hour workshop in her living room, and as a result, she got 8 new clients. She does image coaching. Tiffany, who's in the middle with the Power of Civility book, she does and did what a lot of us do. She went out to her Chamber of Commerce, all of her association groups, and as a result, in a very down economy in the county that she lives in, she catapulted her business. Her training schedule is so full, I can never even talk to her these days because she did what a lot of us will do, and she went out to speak to small groups in her community. And Dana, who's above the Image Power book, Dana did something that will work for many of you. She partnered with local businesses. You could partner with banks if they have the same clients as you. You could partner with health clubs if they have the same clients as you. You could partner with another fitness location. She partnered with department stores. What do department stores want? They want people in the store. And what she does is she does a speech in the department store, they promote it, and she comes home with clients. That's pretty good, right? And that's what can happen for you. And these are some of the other organizations that I've partnered with over the last few years, Staples, Jones, New York, several of the business journals, and this is where we do a split. For the business journals, we did a split. They promote it, I promote it, people pay to come, we split the revenue at the door, they get new subscribers, and I get to make my offer for my sought-after speaker summit, which you'll hear about later, and I come home not only with clients, but I also come home with revenue in my pocket. That's what I want for you. Or you could be partnering with other stores like Staples or other stores where you go and do something in their store. And with Jones, New York, we did events in office buildings. I want you to see that the possibilities are endless once you start speaking to grow your business. And of course, this is me with some of my ladies at a recent event. You can also do your own events. And that is another way to really catapult your business. And a lot of people are afraid of doing their own events. Let me tell you, it's very, very easy once you get started. The first one is hard. After the first one, you can absolutely thrive with your own events. And the reason why I want you to recognize the power of speaking, everybody, is because it lets us serve more people. And I know you have a huge desire to serve people, to support people, to help them thrive. And speaking allows you to do that. And before I dive into my 10 steps, I want to just let you know about a few of the results that I've seen, and then I'm going to have you, so get your pencil and paper ready, I'm going to have you calculate for yourself in just a minute what speaking can do for your business. This is Karen. Karen barely was speaking in 2011. In the first 6 months of this year, she booked 35 speeches. And as a result of that and learning how to come home with clients, she's doubled her monthly revenue. She also got her first paid training contract as a result, and she's thriving. And this is Rosie. She never gave a speech before this year, to gain clients. She's a productivity coach. As a result of her focusing on speaking, she booked 24 speeches in the first 6 months of this year, and she is doing what I consider to be the minimum. Every time she speaks, she comes home with at least 2 clients. At least 2 clients. And this is Linda. And she's just thriving. 36 speeches booked first half of this year, 93 new clients, $16K in new client revenue in just the first few months. Okay, so now it's time for you to get your pencil and paper ready, because I want you to look at this equation for yourself. So let's say you're speaking 2 times a month, you're getting 4 new clients. Now, what we look at is not what you're going to come home with on the first day of speaking. We look at what would that client be worth to you over the course of a year. Now, if that was that you were, over the course of the year, earning $1,500 with each of these new clients, that would mean you would have $6,000 new dollars of revenue for the year as a result of those 4 new clients that you're getting every month. That would give you 72,000 new revenue dollars just for the year. That is significant. See that? Because you're keeping not only your practice full, you're keeping your pipeline full, you're having the now clients now and the more clients later as a result of your speaking. And what if you were speaking 3 times a month? And this is nothing. Twice a month, 3 times a month, that's nothing. And if you were coming home with new clients every time, and though say worth the same amount, that would be $216 in new revenue in a year. Okay, pencil and paper's ready? Now it's time for you to figure out your equation. So let's say you were speaking twice a month, and you're gaining 2 new clients with each of those speeches. And again, that is about the minimum, and some you'll, now occasionally, and I will give you the total truth. Occasionally, I come home with no clients. Sometimes I come home with 7. Sometimes I come home with 8. Sometimes I come home with 11. I'm testing right now. I think that the morning groups are not as good as the afternoon and the evening groups. I feel like people are not ready to open their wallets or make business decisions first thing in the morning. So I like to go to the afternoon and the evening groups. You'll have to test this for yourself. My point is that occasionally it doesn't go great and you come home with nothing. But there will be days that you'll come home with double, triple, quadruple your average. So let's look at this. So if you were going to gain a new client, what is that client worth over the course of a year? Not just your initial 3-month or 12-week or whatever you're doing. What would that client be worth over the course of the year? Times that by 12, and that's what you're adding per month in yearly revenue. Not monthly revenue, but yearly revenue. And what would that be worth over the course of a year? Go ahead and do that calculation for yourself, and go ahead and do the same if you were speaking 3 times a month and you're getting 6 clients, and each of those is worth, well, you would actually put your own amount here, not $1,500, whatever your own amount is, and what would that be worth to you? I want you to go through this exercise. I want you to see the numbers, because I want you to see that the numbers are significant. And of all of the different marketing strategies that you can use, there are 3 that are the best. And these 3 are the ones that will catapult your business, fill your practice faster than everything. Networking, referrals, and speaking. Notice, though, that the speaking includes networking, because you get more visibility in the room than anybody. And of course, when you get out there and people meet you and they get to know you, and you build partnerships and strategic alliances, that's going to increase your referrals as well. I want you to see the power of speaking to catapult these 3 strategies, which are absolutely the best. Now, I still encourage you to do email marketing. I still encourage you to do radio interviews. And of course, webinars and teleseminars count towards your speaking goals. I want to say it again. Webinars and teleclasses count towards your speaking goals. So when we look at twice a month or 3 times a month or 4 times a month speaking, recognize that that would also include when you're doing a webinar, when you're doing a teleclass. And as a result of these strategies, you are going to catapult your business. Okay, so I would love to hear a few of you type in there. You know what, Kathy, can we have them type in what their yearly revenue number was when they did some of these calculations so we can see?
And just so you know, everyone, I'm the only one who's going to see who it's from. So it's confidential in regards to that. No one else sees what you typed in. The other option, any other questions you have, do type them into the panel. We'll feed them to Caterina. And then, Caterina, if you get to the point where you'd like to have someone come on live, I can invite them to raise their hand, and we can unmute them, and they can come on live. So,
okay, great.
People, type in your numbers, whatever it is, low, high, crazy, who cares? Let's start playing with the numbers. So the first one I'm getting pop up, Caterina, is $50,000 a year. I've got $70,000 a year on here using this equation. So we're getting numbers coming in.
Great, fabulous. So everyone think about that. 50, 70, 120, these numbers are going to catapult your business. There's nothing, absolutely nothing better. Okay, great. Well, let's dive in now to the 10 steps to becoming a sought-after speaker. And then we're going to absolutely have time for some questions at the end. I want to make sure we do that. So hold your questions for now, but do go ahead and write them down because we will take them very shortly. Okay.
And Caterina, they're welcome to type them in, and I'll save them for you. And just to let you know, I did get more numbers coming in, ranging from that 50 all the way up to 150,000 a year. So.
Wonderful. Very exciting. Everybody, couple speeches a month, go somewhere, come home, increase your business by 100,000, 50,000. Is that worth it? Absolutely. Oh, now, I'm assuming you're all ready for the 10 steps because I'm going to give them to you now because I absolutely want to support you in catapulting your business with speaking. The 10 steps to being a sought-after speaker. Step 1, define your audience. Now, this is easy. You can all do this right now with me on the call because the answer to the question of who is your audience is very simple. Your ideal client. If your ideal client is women in transition, that's who you want to be with in terms of audiences. If your ideal client are people that are reinventing their careers, that's who you want to talk to. If your ideal client are executives, that's your audience, executive audiences. If you work with women entrepreneurs like me, then you absolutely want to speak to those groups. Here's a very important distinction, and here's where I differ from a lot of other speaking people. I do not want you to go speak to every group in town. I do not want you to go to the groups just because somebody asks you and you're thinking, well, I just want to practice. No, and let me tell you why. 2 very important reasons. The first one is that when you go someplace, and these are not your people, if I can say it that way, not your peeps, what happens is that this is now a prove it to me audience. And a prove it to me audience is the opposite of a show me audience. A show me audience is an audience that is anxious for your message, excited about your speech, because they're interested in what you have to talk about. If so, you go somewhere where these people are a different category. You know, let's say, for me, I'm talking about grow your business. If I go to a retirement group, unless it's a business retirement group, Most of those people are not interested in my message. As a result, I have to work very, very hard to give a good program because they're not going to be on the edge of their seats. And as a result, because they're not the right audience, I'm not going to come home with any clients. And not only that, I may be depressed because I don't feel like I did a great job, but it wasn't that the speech wasn't good, it was the audience wasn't interested. Never, let me repeat, never go speak to an audience that is not the right match for you. And you know that when they're not your ideal clients. That's the first huge reason. The second reason is because your time is valuable. And we can have a whole discussion just on your time-dollar equation. And you have to consider that you're taking at least a half a day to give that speech. You got to get dressed nice. You got to drive to wherever it is. You got to get there early. You got to set up. You probably have to sit through lunch or dinner before your speech. You have to stay after to talk with anyone. It's a half day of your time. And that has a financial value. And be strategic in your business. Don't say yes to any group just because you want to practice. No, because that practice is not going to be any good. Because if they're a prove it to me audience, you will not thrive in the room. You only want show me audiences that are really interested in your message. Now, there is a third category that you can do a little bit, which is the community service talk. And that's fine. You can go do community service. I've gone to the women's shelters. I've gone to the church groups. I've gone to the people in a job transition, which is not my ideal audience, although it may be for some of you. I've gone to all those places, and I'm happy to go, and I go knowing it's community service, and that's fine. And you can do that once a month. Once a month, I will limit you to, is my recommendation. And you don't pursue those opportunities because, again, your time is valuable. Community service is great. Don't, though, make the mistake of thinking that a community service speech is a speech that is a marketing speech. They're not the same thing. Don't kid yourself. Go after the speeches to your ideal clients. That's the first thing. Step 1, define your audience. Step 2, get your speaker sheet done. Your speaker sheet is a 1 or 2 page, and I'll show you some examples shortly, a 1 or 2 page PDF. You could print them out too, but I'll tell you, in 20 years, I rarely print them out. We just send them via email to people. Your speaker sheet positions you as a speaker. The purpose of your speaker sheet is not to get coaching clients. The purpose of your speaker sheet is to get you booked for marketing speeches. And let me show you a couple, and then I'll come back. This is Bernie's. This is her first speaker sheet. This is Christina. She's an empowerment coach. This is her speaker sheet. This is Vicki. She does financial coaching and consulting. And this is Alice. She has a great program on how to think like a CEO. So those are just a few sample speaker sheets. Let's look at what you want to have on your speaker sheet. The first thing is we are not Oprah, Susie Orman. Our name alone is not enough to stop traffic. Instead, you want a benefit-focused title. Increase your productivity, grow your business, increase your vitality. Whatever your area of focus is, that's what you want at the top of your speaker sheet. Next point, a big rookie mistake is that people have 10 speeches, 5 speeches that they're offering. My recommendation is 3. 3 talks max. If you have 1, that's great. 1 is perfect. 2 is fine. It's fabulous. Not more than 3. And here's what I want you to recognize, coaches. You absolutely could talk about lots of different things. You are super smart. If you're like most coaches I know, you have been a lifelong learner and you're always doing something to improve your skills, you could give talks on 25 different things. The thing to realize, and again, we want to always be strategic in our business, the thing to realize is that your topic has to match whatever your offer is at the end. For example, I could give a talk on communicating powerfully to get what you want. I've given that talk many times as a paid program. I would not do that as a marketing speech because I do not have a communication class or a communication product, or I have nothing in terms of an offer that would match that talk. That's why I give a talk on how to be a sought-after speaker, because I then invite people to my sought-after speaker summit. Or I give a talk on innovative strategies to grow your business, then I invite people to my business breakthrough summit. You want to make sure that there's a clear match between your offer and what topics you're talking about. This is a very important point. Now, underneath listing your topics, you would focus on the benefits and make bullet points or a paragraph of what the benefits are that the audience will take away from this talk. Then, of course, you add credibility with a bio. But here's a big rookie mistake that people make. They use their regular bio for their speaker sheet bio. Nope, don't want to do that. What you want to do is talk about yourself as a speaker. Instead of saying Sheila has been a coach for this many years and this is her training, you would say Sheila is a dynamic and energetic presenter that provides practical information that audiences can apply immediately to whatever her area of focus is, to catapult their health, to increase their productivity, to have more ease in their life, to soar through transition. Whatever her area of focus was, we talk about her, we talk about you as a speaker. And then a couple other simple things that surprisingly people miss sometimes. Make sure your contact name information is on there, which includes your phone number and your email address. You're a speaker. You want to be loud and proud that you're a speaker. You want to be easy to connect with, and that means putting your phone number and your email address and your website on your speaker sheet. Include testimonials if you have them. If you don't have them, don't include them. And then, of course, have a great design that positions you as an expert. We don't want it to look like your 14-year-old designed your speaker sheet. Now I'm going to spend a moment on these. Look at Bernie's. She's got 3 topics. She's got 1 testimonial. This speaker sheet booked her over and over and over and over, and this is the first speaker sheet she ever did. It's fabulous. Next one, Christina's. Again, she's got 2 topics. 2 is fine. She's got her benefit-focused title at the top. Fabulous speaker sheet. And then Vicki. Now, Vicki's been around longer. She's more established. She's got more testimonials. She's got more long client lists. She's got 3 topics. She's grown to 2 pages. That's fine. Alice. Alice, by the way, those of you that have books, I know a lot of you have books like Alice. Some of you are co-authors in a book. Make sure you put your book on your speaker sheet. Your book will help you get booked as a speaker every single time. All right, step 1, define your audience. Step 2, get your speaker sheet done. Step 3, create your criteria. Now, you're going to need your pencil again, or your pen, so get ready for that. And let me give you the criteria. Here's the criteria. How far are you willing to drive? To talk for how long? To how many people? How far are you willing to drive? To talk for how long? To how many people? Now, seems simple, and let's go through it. If you have an on-the-ground business, now as coaches, I know that most of you have virtual businesses. So you may want to go 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours, because if you're working with your clients virtually, then it doesn't matter. But you still want to look at your time-dollar equation. And I would encourage you to start with 1 hour, that you will not go further than 1 hour. And why? Because you cannot market to the planet, right? We can't market to the planet. So as a result of not being able to market to the planet, we want to stay within 1 hour, because you're going to find your groups in 1 hour. Within 1 hour. You've got to target those groups. You've got to contact those groups, which we'll get into shortly. So how far are you willing to drive? Next question, to talk for how long? Now, sometimes groups offer you 20 minutes. Sometimes they offer you 30 minutes. Here's what I want you to know. However much time they offer you, you ask for more. And let me tell you why. The more time an audience spends with you, the more money they're open to investing with you. Let me say that again. The more time an audience spends with you, the more money they're willing to invest with you. This is key, because if they spend 20 minutes with you, then you could sell a few books, but they're probably not going to be open to your $9.97 package. Very, very important. Always ask for more time. Always ask for an extra 10 minutes, because the meeting planner or organizer can usually find another 10 minutes for you. Next thing, always be recognizing that 90 minutes is the sweet spot. 90 minutes is the sweet spot. Why? They've had plenty of time to connect with you, and they will get value from you. And as a result of that, they will be very open to working with you. 90 minutes is the sweet spot. Okay? Now, with that in mind, how far are you willing to drive? Talk for how long? Last question, to how many people? And I want you to recognize that there is always less people in the room with, I can count on one hand, with the exception of 6 times in 20 years, that there's less people in the room than the meeting planner, more people than the meeting planner tells me. My experience is 99.9% of the time, there's less people in the room than the meeting planner tells me. This is important for you to realize, because if you are saying, well, you know what, 10 people in the room is fine, but then you only have 5 people in the room, do you really want to drive to Timbuktu? It's up to you. Recognize there's always less people. So go ahead now and create your criteria. How far are you willing to drive to talk for how long to how many people? How far are you willing to drive to talk for how long to how many people? Okay? That's your criteria. So step 3, you have created your criteria. Let's take a look at number 4. Identify the right groups for you and build a list. Identify the right groups for you and build a list. And Kathy, let me just check in with you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can. As long as you keep your volume up, we're good. And okay. I am getting questions in for when you're ready.
Okay, great. Now let me ask this. We've got about 12 more minutes, and I've got some more points. I think we'll save questions till the end. Okay, let's do that. Okay, great. So everybody, step 4, identify the right groups for you and build a list. Now, you're going to identify the groups where your ideal clients are gathered within an hour, or if you live in a rural area, within 2 hours of your home office, making the assumption that you're working from home or your regular office. And that's it. You make a list. Okay, very easy, just like for sales. But of course, step 5 is you've got to connect with those target groups, and you've got to get booked. And how do you do that? It's very simple. I'm going to tell you now. You send an email with your speaker sheet attached, and you say something like this. Dear so-and-so, I see that you're the program chair of XYZ group that meets at XYZ location monthly. I have a great program on whatever your topic is. I also have a program on second topic, third topic, if you have 3, that would be of great value to your members. I would love to discuss with you speaking for one of your meetings. Sincerely, your name. Now, you could also put PS. If you're not the right person to talk to, please advise me who to connect with. That is what I do first. That is what I recommend you do first. You send out the email. Then you wait a day, and you reach out by phone. Now, of course, recognize for a lot of groups and associations, this is all done by volunteers. So it's very important that you, just like with your selling, with your booking new clients, that you have a regular time set aside to focus on getting booked for speaking. Now, those of you with virtual assistants, which I'm hoping is most of you, your virtual assistant can build a list for you. Your virtual assistant can send out these emails for you. For marketing speeches, you absolutely can have your virtual assistant help you with this. Now, if they want to book you, then it's beneficial for you to get on the phone, and you're going to, if you don't already know, make sure that this group meets your criteria. Okay, 4, make a list. 5, connect with your target groups. And 6 is continue to follow up. Very, very simple. Of course, this is where a lot of people fall down, though, because we get busy and we get out of focusing on speaking. Everyone, I want to encourage you to set speaking goals. The reason why a lot of people are not speaking regularly is they don't set a goal for speaking. My recommendation for you is that if you already have a thriving practice, you're speaking at least twice a month. If you're just getting started, you're speaking at least 4 times a month. And you could raise that to 6 or 8, because remember, you can include webinars, you can include teleclasses. And also, identify those associations and groups that have teleclasses or webinars for their members, in addition to just the on-the-ground groups that you can go live and in person. Now, I do want you to know that my experience is that when you're live and in person, you create a lot more results than webinars and teleclasses. They're still very valuable. They're fabulous for getting clients, building your list, etc. Recognize, though, that I don't want you to just go 100% teleclasses and webinars, because you're not going to get the same results. My sense is about 10 to 25% results from teleclasses and webinars that you would get on the ground, live and in person with people. All right, step 7, my favorite step. Be loud and proud that you are a speaker. Be loud and proud that you are a speaker. Here's a test right now. If you consider yourself a speaker, if I look at your business card, does it say speaker? If not, time for a redesign. If I look at your website, do you have on there a page for speaking topics or workshops or programs or some place where I'm going to see the 3 talks that you're going to give? On your website, are you being loud and proud about your speaking? Have you posted on your Facebook status and your LinkedIn status that you're looking to give a talk on XYZ in 2013? What groups do you know that will be a good match? I'm going to tell you, everybody, right now, I posted that, hey, I'm looking for groups to talk to. Here's how I do it, and here's how I recommend you do it. When I book a speech, I say, thank you to whoever the individual is that booked me for a speech on, and I put my topic, and I might put the group, but you always put your topic, because your topic is what people are interested in. And then I say, what groups do you know that would be interested in a talk on this? I did that a few weeks ago, and as a result, I got an Insta booking. Someone said, hey, Caterina, I've been meaning to call you, and I got an Insta booking for twice this year. I put this same tip in an article that I did in a magazine last month. I got an email from a lady on Facebook, Caterina, I read your tip, I posted on Facebook, she got an Insta booking. I have seen this over and over and over. Be loud and proud that you're a speaker. When I get the booking, I'm loud and proud about it in my social media. When I come back from the speech, I thank the audience and the association and the booker again, mentioning the topic. And then in your newsletter that you have for your clients, I want you to have a place that has all your speeches that are coming up listed. That's also being loud and proud. By the way, on your website, make sure that you have a place for your events where all of those are listed. We could talk all day just on being loud and proud. I want you to take these tips. I want you to get started with them, and you will find you will get Insta bookings. Very, very easy. Step 8, be an awesome speaker. Now, everybody, here's what I want you to know. You may already be an awesome speaker, and however good you are, you can get better. And if you don't feel you're good at all, recognize that all you need to do to get better is get started speaking and get some support with your presentation skills. Because our time together is not specifically on presentation skills, I want to give you 3 of my most important ones. Every time you talk, make sure that you are speaking with positivity. And positivity is the joy that you have, the joy to serve, the joy to be speaking, the joy to be talking about what you're talking about. That's your positivity. Next is your certainty. Certainty is your confidence. It's your confidence about the topic. It's your confidence about being a coach. It's your confidence as a man or a woman in your body, being loud and proud. Positivity and certainty. And the third one is enthusiasm. Enthusiasm is the energy behind your voice that you project when you speak. These are 3 qualities that I want you to make sure that you're embracing when you're speaking. The thing to recognize about positivity and certainty and enthusiasm is that they are alluring. They are magnetic. People will want to work with you when they see these 3 qualities coming from you. Positivity, certainty, enthusiasm. That's going to help you be an awesome speaker. Step 9, make an easy yes offer or an easy yes invitation, however you want to say it. Everyone, when I go speak somewhere, I don't offer my $2,500 or $5,000 coaching package. I offer my $497 2-day event at a deep discount, $97, $197. Why? Because all I want to do is get this audience to come and spend more time with me. Now, if you're not doing your own events, you could offer them whatever your introduction session price would be at a 50% or a 75% discount. I don't want you to be too concerned with making a ton of money just coming in your pocket from a marketing speech. I want you to be concerned and interested in capturing all of the interest in the room, all of the interest. And you do that with an easy yes offer. An easy yes offer or invitation has 3 elements: low time commitment, low money commitment, and if you want, you can add some bonuses. Let me say this. 2 days, which is what I invite people to, that is a more difficult yes than a 1-day or a half-day or even a teleclass series. I would encourage you to start with a half-day workshop, a teleclass series, or your introductory session. As a result of that, you will get a lot of pickup. You will get a lot of interest if you also have an easy yes price point that they barely have to think about. One of my clients is a business intuition coach, and she came to one of our programs. She came to the summit, and she did not even give a speech. She just made a 1-minute invitation, making an offer. We practice offers at the summit. And as a result of that, she got 11 people saying yes to her easy yes offer. Now, her regular price is $150 for half an hour. She offered that half an hour for $47, which was a very low price. Because it was such a low price, people barely had to think about it, and as a result, she got 11 people to say yes. From those 11, 8 of those 11 signed up for her package, which is $700. So I want you to see the value of the easy yes invitation. Okay, and let me say this. Here's another thing, everybody. Speaking is one skill, getting booked is another skill, and being powerful at your easy yes offer is another skill. These are all separate skills. And I say that because a lot of people I talk to are good at speaking, but they're not coming home with clients. Recognize this is something I want you to practice as well. And number 10, get support and expect success. Positivity will propel you more forward than cynicism or negativity any day in your business. Get support and expect success. Everybody, here again are the 10 steps to being a sought-after speaker. I want to encourage you to follow these steps, start speaking, set goals, and you will absolutely catapult your business. And I'm going to take a moment right now to make you a super easy yes invitation, because I would love, welcome, be so grateful if I had the privilege of supporting you in catapulting your business with speaking. This is our 2-day summit, January 11th and 12th in Dallas, February 2nd and 3rd in San Francisco. There's a website, sought-after-speaker.com. When you use the coupon code CCEVIP, you will receive a $400 discount. That means you get to come to the summit 2 days for $97. We have great networking. We have incredible speakers. We do expert roundtables. We go much more extensively through the 10 steps. You practice your offer over and over, building confidence and certainty. And many, many people come home with clients from the Sought After Speaker Summit. I would like that to be you. Feel free to call me or email me with any interest in the summit, and visit sought-afterspeaker.com. And everybody, here's my contact info. Oh, I didn't put my phone number on there. You're welcome to call me. It's 415-350-6854. 415-350-6854. And by the way, at the Sought After Speaker website, you can also get my audio that goes more in detail into the 10 steps of being a sought-after speaker. That's free at sought-afterspeaker.com. Okay, everybody, go become a sought-after speaker. Kathy, I'm ready for questions.
Excellent. Thank you, Caterina. And by the way, a great offer, and at the same time, a great example of making an offer. And actually, I think that's going to feed into the first question I'm going to give you. One person said, I am presently speaking 4 times a month, and I am missing the clients. What can I do to convert them to clients?
Okay, so this is where, and I get this question all the time, and unfortunately I can't ask a lot of questions of this person, which is what I would do. First, the question is, are you having enough time from the group? 20 minutes is not enough time, okay? And I know that a lot of groups are offering 20 minutes. You want to get 30, 60, 90, as much as possible. That's the first thing. Second thing is, oftentimes people are offering too big of a thing. If I come and hang out with you for your speech for 30 minutes, don't offer me your $700 thing. Offer me your $97 thing. Offer me your $197 thing. Offer me your $47 something. We don't want price to be too, when the price is too high, it eliminates interest. All we want to do is capture the interest. I like to say, because I do my own events, all I want to do is get people to my party. I want to take them from that party, and I want to invite them to my party. I am inviting them to my party. The ones that take advantage of the offer are the ones that are RSVPing yes to my party. Don't look at getting full-fledged clients. Look at getting starter clients that then are going to turn into big, full-blown clients.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. The next question, and I think this is a great one. Do you recommend not speaking to an unideal audience even if they're paying, what they're paying is excellent? For example, she's speaking to a group of 40 people. They're not her target client. They're paying her $6,000 for a 4-hour presentation or workshop.
Okay. So yeah. So let me say this. That would be, of course, be professional speaking. And I love professional speaking, and I do it all the time. And I do my best to only say yes when I feel I can provide a ton of value for the audience without a lot of difficulty. The thing to recognize is when they're not an ideal audience, that you will not have any pickup, meaning you will give a speech, you will get a check, but you will not get anything from that group after unless they want to book you again. The point to realize is, does it meet your time-dollar equation? So for this person, if it's in their hometown and they feel that they can do a great job, even though they're not their ideal clients, and they feel they can give that group a lot of value, I would absolutely say yes. If it was me and I had to fly to the East Coast, I live on the West Coast, it's going to take 3 days of my time, that cost would not merit my time, because you have to look at the time-dollar equation, because there's not going to be any pickup. So yes, $6,000 is great. I would say yes if it meets your time-dollar equation for how many days, including your prep time, that is going to take you to be successful at that event. You want to get to the place, though, in your speaking where you're only speaking to groups that are a good match for you, even when you're doing professional speaking, because then it's with ease. When you go speak to groups that are not the right match for you, that's work, and it's stressful. And you still get paid, but it's not with ease, and we want to have with ease speaking engagements. Next question.
Excellent. Next question. What is the best way to get a list of potential groups?
Okay, great question. Now, here's how we do it. I use Google. Very simple. Now, there is the American Society of Association Executives, ASAE.org. They have a gateway to associations, which will have a lot of associations on their website, but that will not be a complete list. I want to go look at the website, see if this group is the right match for me, get a feel by looking at the website. What we do is we put in the city or state that we're looking to speak in. We put in the kind of group, so for me that would be business groups or women business groups, and then you always put the year. The year, because you only want the current content. There's enough just with that. And then you start to look at the sites and build the list. And again, this is something your virtual assistant can do for you. Now, I will tell you honestly, I enjoy looking at the websites, so I do some of this myself. You could also type in conference. You could type in association. You build your own list. Now, I've bought lists at different times, but they're not necessarily the right content for you. You really have to build your own list and update it every 6 months with the new content. And by the way, the other thing is that groups are often, like right now, it's whatever time of year it is right now, it's the end of November. Well, guess what? They're already booking for next June. Some groups. Other groups are already booked for next year. You have to put in the notes for the groups in your Excel spreadsheet. You have to put when are they booking for next year. And if you're looking at national conferences, you want to identify what time of year they have their conference, and then also when they're booking for next year. Next question.
Excellent. Thank you. You mentioned a sweet spot for how long to talk. What is the sweet spot for how many people to talk to?
Okay, that's a great question. The sweet spot for how many people to talk to. You know, I'm not really sure, because here's what I would say. When there's too few people in the room, I find it's not that exhilarating as a speaker and there's not enough energy. So I would like to have at least 20 people in a room. I would say in terms of audience size, 60 or 70 for me would be my sweet spot. The reason is because I can learn everybody's name, I can shake everybody's hand before we start the speech, and I can keep the program very interactive. And sometimes when there's too many people in the room, people don't talk a lot. If you have I find in a room of 100 or more, people don't share as much. It's hard to get interaction. I would say that, but everybody has to decide their own sweet spot. For me, I like at least 20 so we have enough energy, and 60 or 70 is good because it's a large audience, but people are still sharing and being interactive. And for my programs, that's what I love. And again, everybody, all these things that we've discussed today, you really have to test them for yourself. Okay, what I found in studying speaking and speaking to grow your business over the last many years is that, some people say do X and some people say absolutely don't do X. I'm sharing with you my experience over the last many years, and I want to encourage you to test these things for yourself. Use these tips, test them for yourself, and see what works for you.
Excellent. Next question. Many meetings already have a set time for a speaker. This person's thinking of their own professional organization. What kind of meetings are you recommending that they ask for more time at?
Every meeting where they're offering you less than 90 minutes. And I understand, because most of the groups I talk to, they have a set time. They're not asking me how much time I need. They're telling me. That's why I suggested the 10 minutes, because the meeting planner can usually find you another 10 minutes. And let me say this. I just got booked to speak to a group. They offered me 20 minutes. In this case, I asked for 40. I didn't want less than 40. And they really wanted me to talk, and it was a marketing speech. And I said to them, you know what? I do not feel good about 20 minutes. I said, I would feel good about 40 minutes. And if you'd like me to say yes, I would appreciate 40 minutes. And they gave me 40 minutes. Now, the reason is because probably they're booking me for December. They really need a speaker. So I have a little more leverage now than I would at another time of the year. I really want to encourage you to always ask. My reports from my clients around this is that they always ask, and sometimes they get a yes to more time. I don't know if 20 minutes is worth the time. Again, you can test this, but I've tested this over and over and over for myself. In 20 minutes, I can sell books, but I can't get pickup for anything more than that. Everybody has to test it for themselves.
Excellent. Thank you. Next question. I've got a couple more good ones. Next one. Should you always have a PowerPoint with your speech?
I'm sorry for the laughing. The reason I laugh is because PowerPoint is great, and you absolutely don't need it. Now, when you're speaking to very large audiences, meaning 300 or more, PowerPoint is great because it gives people visual when they can't necessarily see you that well because you're way in front of the room. In a small group, you absolutely don't need PowerPoint. Now, and in fact, PowerPoint is challenging because it takes you away from the audience, and it's difficult to be connected to the audience while you're also using PowerPoint. And we could have a whole other class just on this, because it's very important that you stay connected to the audience all the time throughout your whole speech. You're never looking at your PowerPoint. You're never looking at your screen. Now, of course, today we're doing a webinar, so we're, of course, using PowerPoint. I do this same program all the time without PowerPoint. I'm doing it on Tuesday, and I'm still going back and forth whether or not to use PowerPoint. And on Tuesday, it's an executive group, and I'll probably use PowerPoint because executives are more used to PowerPoint. So if you speak to executives all the time, you may want to use more PowerPoint. but I don't feel compelled to use it when I'm giving a marketing speech at all because it creates less connection with the audience. And a lot of people use it as a crutch. The other thing is that it tethers you. You're stuck to your slides. So I have to talk about this, and then I have to talk about this because I have to follow the slides. When you get, as an experienced speaker, you want to be able to talk about whatever the audience wants to talk about. You want to be able to skip things if they want to talk more about something else. And you can't do that with PowerPoint.
Excellent.
So yes,
thank you. And questions is they want to see your email address. So if while you answer the next one I'm going to give you, you could flip to the next slide, that'd be great.
There we go.
The next question is this. People that are doing what you're talking about, how do you get someone to pull the trigger so that they actually, you get the sale and you get the new client?
Okay, I'm not quite, I don't quite get this, and let me tell you why.
My understanding from the question is they're doing what you're talking about in terms of speaking to their ideal audience, etc. And what they're missing is getting people to sign on the dotted line and commit to the sale.
Great. Okay, great. So here's a few simple yet important things. There's a difference between a flyer and a sign-up sheet. I heard a speaker a couple weeks ago. She was doing a workshop. She had a flyer. A flyer does not have a place for your credit card. An order form has a place for your credit card. You want people to sign up in the room with you. That's why you give them a super discount, because discounts create urgency. Bonuses create urgency. If you say, by the way, my workshop is next month, and the price is $97, okay, but once I leave the room, I forget about you and your speech for the most part. And sometimes when people leave the room, they even intend to go home and sign up. They're excited, but then life gets in the way. Now, you could still follow up with people after and invite them again, but that's a lot of work. Why would you want to do that? What you want to do is make them a compelling offer for them to sign up in the room with you. And for this person that's asking the question, again, look if their offer is too high for the amount of time they have. That is usually the big thing. Look if they're saying you have to sign up today to take advantage of this super discount. And of course, look at if they're making a super discount. With those three things, they should be able to easily come home with clients every single time. Oh, and there's one more thing. Everybody, here's what I see a lot. In fact, I listened to a teleclass of a very prominent coach a couple days ago. We're so good at giving value. We give, and 99% of your talk is value. Then it comes to the part where you're going to make your invitation. And you know what? You leave your body. Your speaking is racked with speech fillers, which is and your voice goes down, and your presentation skills are significantly diminished when it's the part that is the receiving part, you receiving as opposed to you giving. And that's why I'm saying that making an offer is a separate skill. You have to practice that 10 times more than practicing your speech, because the speech for many of you comes easy. It's the offer part that's the hard part, which is why it's a separate skill.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Caterina. And just to let you know, I've got quite a few people typing in their thanks. They're very much appreciating the information and the ideas, and a number of them have things scheduled, so they're saying thanks and heading out. I believe that we have covered the questions that came in. Several people were asking the same or very similar question. I think you answered their questions and what you got. So excellent for that. Lots and lots of thanks. I will throw out to everyone in the audience, if you have additional questions, if I missed your question, type it in again just in case it scrolled past my window too fast. And Caterina, thank you so much. A lot of great feedback.
Thank you. And I look forward to listening to it on the YouTube channel. Thank you.
Excellent. And yes, for those of you, and a few of you did ask that, we will post this on our YouTube channel so that if you want to hear it again, you'll have that opportunity. And you'll, again, have the opportunity for seeing Caterina's email address. So thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
So, excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.